live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth. Centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, health and nutrition, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, and most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone, save our Consumer Advocate Hotline number in your phone. It's 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372.
Baby.
Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website in your browser. It's consumerqb.com. Consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled, we've vetted, and we bring on air to help you live a better life, help you sort through a lot of the nonsense out there in the mainstream media, giving you that helicopter view of the marketplace. And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win. Let's go around the horn now. Make our introductions. In studio, Leigh Erickson. She's an account manager with Heaven Hill Brands. Welcome in.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, my pleasure. What are we going to talk about today?
I brought in some bourbon for us to talk about and taste. Talk about Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah, a little bit about charitable as well,
Charity
giving.
And how we are very involved with several charitable organizations here in town. And I often put myself up for auction and go out to people's homes and take bourbons, and that's my contribution as well.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, I toured the Ready for Life facility with Deborah Schreiber with Rhymes Media, our VP of Sales. And what a great facility. What an awesome work they do over there. Good for the betterment of Tampa Bay, helping foster children through that program. Really, really great people over there.
Right. I think the last charitable auction I put up with Ready for Life went for $1,000. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. Great people over there. Also in studio, Steve Gunnin in the house. Welcome in. Replenish IV Solutions.
Hey, how you doing, Brandon?
Excellent. Yes, sir.
Just trying to concentrate with all this bourbon around here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. So the bourbon leads to a hangover sometimes. What do you have for that?
You wouldn't be the first to have that happen. So, yeah, absolutely. We talk a little bit about the benefits of the IV therapy. One of the best things you can do for your body that we do is magnesium. So we'll talk a little bit about that today, and also about our weight loss challenge that we got going on.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, thanks for coming back in.
Perfect.
Also in studio, Christena Cardon, Clutter Rescue. She's the owner of Clutter Rescue, organizational expert. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit of a teaser what we're going to talk about today.
Just a little bit of tips on how to organize your office, some tips on organizing your home, and how I can help you prepare your sale of your house. There's nothing better you're going to be able to do for yourself besides getting yourself organized. So I'm excited to share some stuff with you about that.
Yeah, it feels great. You clean out your office, you clean out some of the old files, you purge, you donate some stuff. So
Yes.
donate that to charity, and it makes you feel great to have that. It just feels that sense of accomplishment. And what Tony Robbins talks about is the progress. You know, if we're progressing every day in either a work life, career, we're excited, and it's going to help us be positive. So we also have an event coming up right here at iHeartRadio on the 21st, Friday the 21st. We got a free event I will let you know about. You can RSVP through our website, consumerqb.com. Just submit the form. And what we're doing is we're hosting a free seminar for business success. It's Accelerate Your Success, digital marketing seminar, and business growth seminar. We're going to have action coach Patrick Leask is going to be in the house, as well as our expert Carl with Rhymes Media, talking about digital marketing, how to beat your competition online. We're talking about search engine optimization, ranking online, making sure your sites are mobile, and also the ability to retarget. And essentially what you're doing is you're retargeting those customers as they move from page to page on the internet. So a lot of the advanced strategies that you want to learn about, it's a free event, 3 to 5:30 right right here at iHeartRadio, Friday the 21st, 3 to 5:30. At 5:30, we're taking it over to Hula Bay, our official restaurant partner, for a happy hour. And it's great networking opportunities. We're going to have 50 to 60 people in the house, and it's going to be awesome for you to help you grow your business and help you win in any marketplace, as we say. And as you know, I'm a published author and a professional speaker, so we'd love for you to check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. And we always start off the show with a little personal development. We want to help you win, help you understand more about the audibles you can call in life. So we got Peyton Manning there helping us with the audible. But what you want to do is we talk about the power of focus. We talk about directing your mind in a direction of a manner that's going to help you achieve success and prosperity. And the saying is, where energy flows, your energy flows, where your focus goes, right? So what we focus on, we feel, regardless if it's true or not. And you have two choices every day, every minute of every day. You're either going to live in a beautiful state, or you're going to live in a suffering state. And the beautiful state, its characteristics are high energy, happy, joyful, peak state. I always think about it. When I think about this, I think about back in the day when you're taking you're about to get the kickoff in the football game, right? And you're just pumped up. You're ready to go, and that kickoff comes, and the football's there, and boom, you're ready to go. A lot of fun, and you go into your meetings like that in that beautiful state. And then you also have what the opposite of that is a suffering state, which is where a lot of people live. Unfortunately, we have depression. We've got the pharmaceutical industry. You have Dr. Jenny talk about that. But, when you think about the suffering state, it's a negative emotions. It's sadness. It's anger. It's despair. It's stress. It's envy. And so we have the choice. What happens is our mind is going to direct us where we want to be. So you have decisions determine your destiny, and your focus creates your feelings. And what happens is your feelings create your experience, and whether it's true or not. And what happens is our reticular activation system in our brain ultimately is there to point out the threats and things that could potentially harm us in life. And there's no saber-tooth tiger jumping out of the woods today. So what happens is we take these small issues that happen throughout life, and we turn it into fear. We turn it into loss. And it happens when we focus on the illusion of loss, less, or never. So throughout our daily life, as we're working and going through a daily life, is one of those three things are going to happen. We're going to have something happen that's going to say, oh, we're going to experience less love, less respect, or we lost a business opportunity, or worse, if you allow yourself to believe in the illusion of never, and you've heard the saying, never say never. When you think about never, you think then you're doomed to fail. So you don't want to focus on never. So master your mind, or it masters you, and where your focus goes, your energy flows. So there's your consumer tips for today, and I'm going to leave you with this quote here from Gandhi. It says, "A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks about, he becomes." So an excellent quote there from Gandhi. So let's go ahead and jump into this consumer advocate content right here. We're talking with Leigh Erickson. She's an account manager for Heaven Hills Brands. Welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So tell us a little bit more. What's going on with this brand?
Well, I think that you could say, you talk about passion, that we love what we do at Heaven Hill, and that you could say whiskey making runs in our blood, runs deeply. We were established in 1935 and by the Shapiro family, and we are still family owned and operated today. And we have become the world's second largest producer of bourbon.
Wow.
So we have we're only second, over 7 years old age-wise.
Wow.
In barrels, we have the largest holding of bourbon. So we're very, very proud of that.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of volume are we talking about there? You say on a yearly basis? Or?
I can't give you volume, but what I'll give you is we have 1.3 million barrels of bourbon aging in our warehouses in Bardstown, Kentucky now.
1.3 million barrels of bourbon aging.
We have more barrels of bourbon in Kentucky than people.
That's really neat. That's interesting. You think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching a really cool movie just a few weeks back. It was Ben Affleck, and it was talking about coming out of Prohibition, and it was really neat. It was centered a lot around Ybor City right here, Gary. Right. We were talking about that. Do you remember the name of that one? It was really interesting, but it talked about Prohibition and how that came about, and ultimately is based in Ybor, and the guys came down from, I think it was Boston area. Yeah. But yeah, bourbon is one of the original types of liquor, correct?
Well, bourbon is actually the Native American spirit. So in 1964, legislation actually put into legislation that bourbon's the Native American spirit. So it can only be made in the U.S., like champagne can only be made in France, and tequila can only be made in Mexico.
Now, why is that?
Well,
Interesting fact.
I didn't know that.
yeah, interesting fact. I think because of the corn and the distillation process. So,
Okay.
And there's things that are very unique to bourbon. All bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon. So there are
Nice.
regulations to bourbon. You have to be 51% corn in your
Okay.
mash bill.
Okay.
You have to be distilled no greater than 160 proof.
Nice.
You have to be aged in new charred oak barrels and made in the U.S., not Kentucky, which is a large myth.
Very cool. Made in Kentucky. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, cool. Well, that's Leigh Erickson and with Heaven Hills Brands here in the Consumer Quarterback Studio at iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa. Also coming up, we're going to talk with Steve Gunnin, Replenish IV Solutions, as well as Christena Cardon with the organizational expert with Clutter Rescue. And you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please engage us on our website at consumerqb.com and save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372, 670-REQB. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiottampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. Got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. Got a property just listed in Tarpon Springs. It's Zero Rue de Laux. $299,000 just reduced. A great opportunity to build a fabulous dream home in this high-end gated community. And if you build on the bluff here, you're going to be overlooking Lake Tarpon. Beautiful listing of ours at Platinum MVP Realty, as well as Attention Builders and Developers. Got a great opportunity for you. 2606 North Valrico Road in Seffner, 84 acres. $1.79 million, great buying opportunity, residential development opportunity on 84 acres over here in Valrico Road area, East County in Tampa Bay. Beautiful Tampa Bay, great place to live, work, and play. All right, we're giving a shout out as well to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. It's our official hotel partner. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a 15 to 20% discount off of your room stay. And it's Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. It's the first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades, and it's whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites overlooking the intercoastal waterway and rooftop yoga on the weekends. The Castile restaurant on site as well, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and also trophy night on Wednesday night with our very own Gary Gilkey here. And we're here in studio live from iHeartRadio, helping you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show. In studio, it's Intelligent Talk Radio. We've got some intelligent folks here in studio. And we're talking with Leigh Erickson, Heaven Hills Brands. And also we've got Steve Gunnin as well in the house, Replenish IV Solutions, and Christena Cardon, owner of Clutter Rescue 911. She's an organizational expert helping you with all your organization needs for your home or your office. So we'll go back to Leigh here. Let's talk a little bit about it. You guys are sponsoring a big tournament happening today and tomorrow, this weekend, right?
Yes, we are the official bourbon sponsor for the Suncoast Kingfish Classic down at Johns Pass Marina this weekend. And you can come out, and that also, there's proceeds of that goes to Ready for Life.
Right.
So we will be set up out there with a nice table full of bourbon that you can taste through some of our very fine whiskeys.
Nice. Yeah, the Ready for Life. What a great organization. Deborah Schreiber is involved with that. I met the team over there, Michelle and the rest of the team, and it was really interesting to see some of these statistics. 1 in 5 kids that age out of the foster system end up homeless.
Right.
And 80% of the folks that are in on death row have been homeless or aged out of the foster care. And then 70% of those incarcerated were at some point in a foster care system.
Foster care system, yes.
Unbelievable.
Right. And Michelle's my neighbor, and so she's gotten me involved in it. And the more you learn about it, just the more you want to be involved.
Yeah, because you look at the crime rates, and you look at regardless of ethnicity, regardless of class. I mean, it's we know what happens is the kids that don't have the proper childhood, they don't have the parental guidance, they don't have those great role models in their life. You know, they're going to fall into those common pitfalls that happen in life.
And they do a great job of teaching basic life skills that we all take for granted, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, the basic life skills. That was really neat to see that they can get the GED, and then they can access something like $1,200 a month of income to help them with their housing.
Right.
I mean, that was really neat. I saw that they also had mental health counseling in house. That was really interesting to see as well because, you know, again, as I always talk about, the power of directing your mind, the power of focus, and not to get caught up in the fact that your past does not equal your future. And I think that's so key with these kids.
And basic things like balancing a checkbook or filling out tax forms,
right.
They do so many great things just so that they can move forward with their lives.
So how can our listeners engage? You know, if you're listening to this and you're driving, or maybe you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, maybe you're watching our TV show, how can they engage? How can they donate? What do we need to do here?
I would say come on out this weekend.
Yeah.
We've got some really, really great silent auction items up for bid, and a good portion of those proceeds go to the charity.
Okay. So, yeah, come out to the event at Johns Pass. Got the Kingfish Tournament.
And we will be there from 5 to 9 tomorrow night for the captain's party.
Okay.
And then we'll be out there Saturday afternoon from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m.
And if you want more information on how to donate, how to volunteer, go to consumerqb.com, submit the form. There's a contact form on the right. Just submit the form. My promise is to get back to you before my head hits the pillow. We're going to make sure we take care of you there as well. And so great job, great work, Leigh, with
Thank you.
that organization, and Deborah does a great job, and Heaven Hills Brands, it's awesome, for
Yeah,
them to be
we're happy to
involved.
be involved.
That's great. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and bring Steve Gunnin into the conversation and Replenish IV Solutions. So, what say you, sir?
Hey, how you doing, Brandon?
Yeah,
Good to
man.
see you the other day. Thanks for coming back in.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. Absolutely.
No, we're talking a little bit today. I think one of the things that when you come in, you get the Myers cocktail. Unlike the bourbon cocktail next door here,
Yeah.
this is actually goes into the veins, gives you a good little boost. And one of the best parts of it that we don't really often focus on is the magnesium. Magnesium is like that mineral that, it's the yin and the yang to calcium.
Right.
A lot of people don't get that. If females and they have a lot of things that we males don't have to deal with.
Right.
One of those is usually osteoporosis. Well, a big reason is magnesium deficiency.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know that.
if you have a lot of calcium problems and you're trying to supplement calcium, try looking at your magnesium. So, and just taking a lot of oral supplements, those get worn out by the body very quickly, and they're not as effective. They don't go to the root of the problem.
Right.
When we give that, I mean, and you'll see things like if you're overstressed, whether you had a long night out, with the girls or guys, or you've had
With the bourbon?
with the bourbon,
Yeah.
with the bourbon, and you've had a stressful week. A lot of us have stressful jobs, everything's going on. Your body has that fight or flight response
That's
to
right.
it. When you have the fight or flight, if you don't help with the magnesium, the calcium, which helps with the contraction, the magnesium kicks the calcium out of the muscle or kicks it out of the cell, so it helps balance. The big word in science is homeostasis. You want to have that nice even balance.
Right.
And magnesium helps you do that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you think about the stress that we have today, and you look at all the different types of stresses, and then you compound that with the speed of life. What a much faster pace of life we live.
I mean, everything. I mean, you look, we're all, I don't think I'm alone here with having their
Yep.
cell phone in front of them. I mean, I've got my daughter over here, and her and her friend have her cell phone too, her cousin.
Yep.
It's like everybody does it. So things are more, right here, right now. I mean, and your body has to react to that.
Exactly.
And when you have all this stress and you don't properly take care of it with your nutrients and everything, you're going to pay for it. The big thing is you've heard of like oxidative stress.
Right.
Your body gets overstressed because it releases all those endorphins. It releases all those chemicals to help deal with that response. And then if it's not properly mediated, then all of a sudden that starts affecting the good cells in your body.
And another big factor too is it's addicting to be on these phones. So, and then you do it right up until bedtime, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and then your brain, it takes you longer to get into your REM sleep, right?
Yeah, and people, I mean, it's just that what people come to expect. I'm sure everybody in the room here, has, it's like once you give somebody your cell phone or once they have that access to you. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had football players that I deal with, forget that they're on the West Coast, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting a Facebook, Snapchat, or whatever. It's like, hey, how you doing? I'm coming in town, and it's right here, right now, and your
Right.
body often doesn't have that enough time to recoup and recover.
Right. Yeah, and it's a challenge. And if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace and giving you that helicopter view of the market, making you more street smart out there, and over 80 categories of consumer advocate content that we provide. So we talk a lot about health and finance, both your physical health and your fiscal health here on the Quarterback Show. We're talking with Steve Gunnin currently, and he's got an awesome opportunity for you to come down to Replenish IV Solutions right down in the Channelside District. And, and you're also working with people that are in dire straits in terms of a very sick state.
Yeah, we work with a lot of different people that, it's the whole spectrum. We've got, and I not trying to be diminishing, but we've got John Q. Public
Yep.
all the way up to the multi-million-dollar athlete that their body is how they make their living. And the greatest thing for us, and my wife and I, Lisa, who started this almost 3 years ago, is that we like helping people, and it's if you can help them feel better, or, you get that client that texts you the next day and say, I feel amazing, thank you so much, or I just don't feel that drag that I normally do.
Right.
I mean, or the little old lady who's, suffering with, some chronic conditions, and you can give her that hydration and vitamins to make her feel better, and they text you the next day, or call you the next day. I mean, it's just, that's why we do it. I mean,
I have a
everything
question.
else are coming. Sure.
Do you tailor that? You ask a lot of questions,
absolutely.
decide what they need, or you kind of have a standard?
When we said the Myers cocktail earlier, that's kind of like the standard, and it sounds weird for me to even say it, even though this is my job, that's the standard of the IV business. But yes, and that's a great question. We do tailor it because, for example, some people need more magnesium. I'll give you an example. We have a lady who comes into us for an autoimmune disorder, and when I'm starting to give her the IV, she'll sit there and you can start to see her legs move, and she's doing this with her ankles. And
Nice.
I've known by now her coming in a dozen times that
Yeah.
she's starting to get that inflammation relief and she
Yeah.
feels better. So yeah, but you might not need something that somebody else needs. So
How do you decide?
Basically, you kind of talk with them. I mean, it's not like we're giving anything detrimental. So all our vitamins are very well. There's a range we give it into, and if they're say really run down, then we can give a little bit more of one vitamin, or if they want something, they're just need some hydration, then a little less of some. But it's all doctor approved, all doctor protocols that we work off.
Let's talk a little bit about that on the other side of the break
Absolutely.
here. And also giving a shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. Stay with us, more from our expert contributors, and we're also going to talk about the 6 top myths about charitable giving, facts about charitable giving from WebMD.com. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show right here on iHeartRadio. And please check out realestateradiotampa.com to buy or sell real estate and see all of his expert contributors. Thank you.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, the Business Journal, and others, recognized for innovation with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. And we are in a lack of inventory market. We need more inventory to sell. So if you're a seller out there on the fence looking at potentially selling, we would love to do a comparable market analysis for you and share with you our very unique and innovative marketing platform that can help you get more exposure, more profit on the sale of your real estate. This segment is brought to you by our partner, Healthy Gourmet, Felicia Lacaille with Healthy Gourmet. Organic veggies and all natural proteins, healthy meals delivered 3 times a week. Fresh 3 times a week. Meal plan starting at $90. Optimal fuel, optimal performance. Healthy Gourmet, Felicia Lacaille, a great partner on the Quarterback Show. I love getting these meals dropped off and just having that on-the-go type meal ready to go right in there. If I'm in my office on wheels, I call my vehicle. It's right there. It's ready to go. I'm not pulling in those fast food restaurants, rushing in and out, trying to get something in my body. It's right there, ready to go. And Felicia Lacaille, longtime friend of the program here on the Quarterback Show. And I want to remind you, go to our website, consumerqbe.com, submit the form. Anything you hear on the show, any comments, concerns, please, we want to hear from you. We want to help you engage so we can help you avoid a lot of the stress out there. ConsumerQB.com. Our hotline as well is 813-670-7372. 670-7372, and that's REQB. All right, we're back here in studio live from iHeartRadio. We're currently talking with Stephen Gunnin, Replenish IV Solutions, and Christina, you had some good questions there. So you were asking more about, from a perspective, how do you tailor these cocktails towards the individual that's in need?
Yeah, absolutely. For example, if you're a professional football player and you're coming in, they're going to want some more amino acids. We can do all the essential, non-essential amino acids in a drip, but somebody who doesn't do all that or is not working out as much or doesn't need those things, that's not going to be in their drip. And I think now we have 25 different drips that are approved through our protocols. And even with that, if somebody says, "Hey, I need a little bit more vitamin C. I feel like I'm catching something."
Yeah.
That's approved in our protocols. We go ahead and add a little bit more vitamin C. For example, I've had cancer patients, and they're going through a lot. So we'll go through and give them some B vitamins and C vitamins. But during their treatment, when they're outside of their chemo window of 48 hours, we'll actually give them upwards of 100 or 200 grams, and this is just good studies that's done by leading universities in the country and some of the top cancer research centers that show that vitamin C does actually work. Some of the big pharma doesn't want to hear that, but it does actually help work in conjunction, and they feel better. I mean, I had a cancer patient 2 weeks ago, and I followed up the next day, and she was out at the beach having fun with her family after having chemo 3 days prior.
Wow.
And it's just giving that boost. I mean, and in that way, we tailor the vitamin C a little bit more to her dosage, and it helps her out, and a little bit more B's give it that boost as well.
Yeah, I love that, and you see the instant gratification a lot of times with that. And important note also, Jenny Wilkins, Dr. Jenny Wilkins, Age Vital Pharmacy Research and Wellness.
Dr. Jenny.
She puts those together for you, and she's making sure that there's no preservatives. It's all legit.
Dr. Jenny, we've been working with her for quite a while now, and we like that because it's all natural. Anything that you can keep out of your body that's synthetic, you're that much better for it.
Right.
And like you said, with the bourbon here, the things like that, a lot of the things that we have to deal with as people is you start to get those health concerns and medications that you take wear out the magnesium in the body. Even the tannins, some of the stuff that you find in wine or alcohols, those can wear it out. Iron, if you take iron supplements, then you need to supplement like magnesium and other things because it will naturally wear that out.
Yeah.
And it's just, we like to really, keep people feeling good. It's nothing, and some people look at the IV business like, oh, it's just a fad. If it's a fad, then hospitals should stop doing it because they've been doing IVs for forever.
That's ridiculous.
And they're going to charge a whole lot more for an IV, and they're not going to get the same benefit as what we give.
Yeah, exactly. And Dr. Jenny, it's important to note too. She's testifying in front of Congress in a couple of weeks about big pharma, and it's an uphill battle. You think about it, and we all know about it. We talk about it. We have these water cooler conversations, or at the ball field, at the soccer field, wherever it is. But we know what's happening now. The American public is getting smarter. We're more educated than ever. We have more access to information than ever. We're connected more than ever. So there's going to be some significant changes that come down.
Oh, it is. There's a lot of changes that's coming down, and I think if people open their eyes and do research and don't just go to the internet and find an article that makes you right. Go and find
Right.
some
Oh,
public.
that's confirmation bias.
Yeah, yeah,
is what they
'cause,
call that.
You know,
yeah.
do some real research and find out things that are actually fact. And
Where would
don't
be a
accept
good
it.
source for that?
You know,
.gov,
.gov,
.org.
yeah.
Where do you go for
National Institute of Health. You know, I do a lot of stuff on that. I mean,
Okay.
when I was studying, one of the best things that I ever do when I was in EMT and then paramedic school and now progressing into nurse practitioner, I'm actually getting my NP to be alternative health and all natural medicine.
Nice.
But I went to the National Institute of Health because, you know, you'll get some real honest articles there. And it's not biased. They're not paying people off to do this. And I don't want, you know, it sounds dirty, but hey, when somebody sponsors a Get Smoking campaign,
Oh, yeah.
and 95% of the people plus that try to quit smoking are smoking again, something's not right. And you
Well,
can look
yeah.
back and find out where that's being funded from.
Oh, it's exactly. Any article I read, anytime I hear a study, I'm like, okay, where did it come from? Who paid for the funding? Who funded the source? Where did it come from? But yeah, it's you know, if you just joined us, I'm your host Brandon Rhymes, host of the Quarterback Show here. We're helping you win in any marketplace. Steve Gunnin, Replenish IV Solutions. Let's go ahead and bring Christena Cardon into the conversation. Clutter Rescue 911. A lot of people need rescued out there, don't they, Christena?
In many different ways.
Rescue, yeah.
Even when they think they don't, there's a closet somewhere.
So let's give an overview. So you come in and you help busy entrepreneurs, business owners, maybe you know, the home mom, and you know, and you're looking at that, and you go in and you have a system that works.
Yes, and I also am a strong believer that you can teach small children how to be organized. Even though lots of parents say, I don't know what to do with these kids. There's stuff everywhere. I just can't get them to do it. And
You have my attention now. I'll tell you what.
I have
You've got my attention.
3, and I promise it can be done. And here's my tip. You have to make them think you're crazy. I'm not kidding.
Uh-oh.
I'm not kidding. But there has to be a system set up. Things have to have a place for them to go first.
Right.
And but you can in fact teach small children to put things where they belong. Now your husband, he might be a lost cause.
Wait a second.
It might be too late. But yeah, so there's a system. I like to help people, even teachers, you know, they deal with tons and tons of, you know, different classes. Some teachers have to change classes several times in a day. And to keep all of that, everything that goes with each student, and then you times that by 25 or 30 kids over and over and over. So I've organized classrooms as well. But there's definitely a lot that we can learn by just take the time. Organizing is not sexy. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, yes, I'm going to do my garage today. It's going to be so fun. Nobody likes doing it.
Nobody ever.
Yeah,
So,
said
yeah.
no one ever. But you know,
saying-
happiness is progress. Progress equals
Yes,
happiness.
yes,
And when you
and
make
yes.
progress, even in a small way, like, hey, yeah, I organized my garage, I organized my office, you can find
That's
things
right.
faster, you're going to increase your profitability, and you're going to get momentum. And that's what happens in life. You get momentum, and that
Right.
momentum builds. And you know, it's something as you know, little as that. Now, let's talk about tips, top tips. So we got a lot of business owners that listen to our show, a lot of real estate agents, title company, all types of different business owners out there. What would be the top tip for office organization?
Definitely colored folders. That is the biggest key I try to tell everyone. When you look at a sea of papers and all the envelopes are the same color, you know, the folder's the same color, all the pages are white, everything just kind of bleeds together.
Right.
But when you create a system where certain subjects are certain colors, I can lay a folder on your desk and I don't even have to speak to you and you already know what's happening with that folder.
Yep.
That makes things go much, much faster. It's very good for productivity. And if you have multiple people in your office that all handle the same folder, you don't want to have to go and have a meeting with each person and say, okay, here's where we're at with this, you know, especially if you're a realtor and you say, well, here's where we're at with this client. And you have to go over, you don't want to be able to do that. You want to know if we're just looking with them right now, it's in this color. If they already have a loan and we're sitting on a house right now, we're in this color. If we're just waiting on closing date, we're in this color. And no matter what I do, who I hand that to, everyone knows exactly what's happening. So it makes it go so much faster.
Yeah, so you got your prospects, you got your pending deals, you got closed files. They're going to be filed away. And the organizational side of business and life, that's what we're helping you with here on the Quarterback Show. We're talking with Christena Cardon. She's the owner of Clutter Rescue. Rescue and an
911.
Clutter Rescue 911 organizational
Yes.
expert, and also more from our expert contributors. We're going to come into our lightning round as well. We're going to give you the top tips, things to do, things to avoid coming up, as well as the 6 top myths and facts about charitable giving. Interesting article from WebMD. And we'll remind you, you're invited to a free digital marketing and business growth seminar happening on Friday, the 21st, right here at iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, 3 to 5:30 at iHeartRadio on Gandy Boulevard. Come out and learn more to earn more. How can you rank online? How can you beat your competition online and on mobile devices? That's where everyone's at. Facebook, mobile devices, Facebook marketing, targeting, creating those funnels. And stay with us. Do not touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show. Giving a big shout out to Hula Bay, our official restaurant partner. The Consumer Quarterback Show is Hula Bay. Awesome waterfront ambiance, excellent food, wide variety on the menu. Location on 5710 Tyson Avenue in beautiful South Tampa. Also have the Duke Surfer Bar down below on the weekends. Great music, live music there. You've got the Marina, you got Freedom Boat Club right there next to Hula Bay, our official restaurant partner. Now, let them know that the quarterback sent you. Go say hello to Todd. He's the general manager. Let him know the quarterback sent you, and he's going to hook you up with a free water with lemon every time. He'll take care of you down there. And we're back here in studio having some fun with you. A couple of hot listings from Platinum MVP Realty, our Platinum sponsor here. This is a property of Mary Cuffle with the Quarterback Show and Platinum MVP. 900 Raphael Boulevard Northeast in St. Petersburg. 3-bedroom, 3-bath property, $450,000. A great buying opportunity. Just hit the market about 12 days ago. And we also have a beautiful Oldsmar property. If you're renting or if you're a tenant in that space in Oldsmar, we'd love for you to check out this opportunity to buy and own your own building at 700 St. Petersburg Drive West in Oldsmar. And it's a $270,000 just reduced property here, commercial building on a quarter acre with a lot of visibility on St. Petersburg Drive. A great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, coming up, the top 6 myths and facts about charitable giving and more from our expert contributors. Currently, we're talking with Christena Cardon. She's the owner of Clutter Rescue 911 and organizational expert. And so we talk a little bit about some of the office tips. Now let's switch gears. Let's talk about home.
Okay, my biggest tip for organizing your house is you have to purge. You have to. There's absolutely, you're wasting your time to buy containers. You're wasting your time to just move things from one side of the room to the other. If you do not purge, I don't even know why you're even beginning, to be quite honest, because I find that purging is going to be your hardest part. People don't want to face the fact, why am I carrying around all these things?
Very emotional for people, isn't
yes,
it?
It is. It is. Sometimes it's stuff you've been dragging from your childhoods.
Yep.
It's maybe something someone passed down to you and you feel guilty for letting it go, but you know you really don't want it. Generations also have a lot of different ways of handling their clutter right now, but you have to purge. You just have to front it, and you have to just say, what am I going to do with this? And
well, I have a question about that.
Okay.
The keepsake box, because my daughter over there will tell you that we have the keepsake boxes for her special outfits when she was this age, or all her schoolwork, and we've started to collect more than 5 or 10 of the keepsake boxes.
Well, now you have too many. So here's the thing with keepsakes is that usually it's the parents, right? The kids don't really care. They don't want that stuff. But it's the parents. Oh, look at the little booties when they were like 3 months old type of thing. I do think there are a few things throughout the years of their life that you should hold on to that will bring that back. But every drawing they've ever done since they were born, it's not necessary.
Well, unless they're going to be an artist, then you're in real trouble later on.
Well, I don't know. I hope they're better than they were at 4.
I moved down here about a year and a half ago from Kentucky. Did a complete purge because it just wasn't feasible to move everything down here, and put what would fit in the Ford Edge and on top. And it's been such a freeing, amazing experience, and the productivity, and it's unbelievable what you can live without.
Well, Brandon talks too about the energy of your home, the energy that you surround yourself with, and clutter is heavy, negative energy. It really is.
I agree 100%
and when you walk into a room, like everyone opens the magazine and they see the beautiful picture, like, oh my God, that room is so gorgeous. Well, what is it about that? Because there's no clutter. Everything is perfect. Everything matches, and all the junk is put away, and it's a beautiful room. And you should offer that to yourself when you go home and you've had a crazy, stressful day at work. When you walk into your home, it should be beautiful. It should be calming, and the energy should be very light and very free. And when you walk into a room, that there's just so much to look at, and there's so many things you didn't put away, and laundry you didn't fold, and papers you haven't gone through. It's just negative, heavy energy.
Well, a lot of it too is, I think it's generational, like we have on the show notes.
Absolutely.
Here. My grandmother, for example, grew up a much different scene than we're in.
And,
and growing up poor, coming from the background that she did.
The Depression
I remember
era.
the story. Yeah, exactly. The Greatest Generation. And you think about, I remember she was telling me a story one time. I was like, every time I meet with her, I want to just ask her questions and talk to her about, how she grew up and the different things. So I said, she told a story about how the day after her wedding, she's back out in the field working, and they're canning tomatoes and they're keeping. So they keep a lot of that stuff because they're thinking in a survival mindset.
Yes.
And it goes back into what I opened up the show with, the power of your mind and the direction of your mind. But that's something that I think, and it also leads into those other conversations of people that want to keep too much stuff.
Yeah,
Sure.
when you finish the butter and you wash the bowl, as if Publix is running out of butter bowls and you've got to have every butter bowl you've ever come in contact with. We definitely have. Now you have to remember too, the minimalist movement is coming in, and a lot of the younger generation, they really don't want the clutter. Not only that, they don't want to buy a home either.
Yeah.
A lot of them are renting apartments. They have this whole small house thing that's going on where they want to live under like 1,000 square feet so they can hook it to the back of their truck.
Well, a lot of them don't have a choice either.
And
If you move in a condo or a place downtown or anywhere around there, I mean,
you don't have the room for that.
Your space is at a premium.
Yeah,
but then you have the baby boomers who, again, we're talking about hanging on to things that I've run into people all the time that say, well, I'm keeping, this whole china set because I want to give it to my daughter, and I'm keeping this couch because it was, my son used to use it when he was 3, and I want to give it back to him. But you have to understand that when you look at your children that are probably now pretty much my age, we don't want it. So don't hang on to it just assuming that you're going to pass it to them. So you're going to hold on to it for years and years and years. And then because I find that I have a lot of elderly people that have to start downsizing and for health reasons or whatever. And they want to now go give this stuff to their kids, and their kids are like, I don't want this stuff. I have my own house. My house looks, I have my own things. And now what? And now they want to try to find someone to come in and rescue them. Well, can we sell these as antiques? What can we do with this? And it's like, it's costing you so much more money to keep hanging on to these things that nobody really wants them to be passed down anyway. So just ask the tough questions. So just tell me honestly, if you don't want this, let me just get rid of this and do what you want with it. And I find too that people always believe that their stuff is worth more than it really is.
Yeah.
So when you ask somebody and they say, well, I can't get rid of that. I can't give that away. That's worth this much. Things are only worth what someone's willing to put in your hand.
Yep.
So until you find someone that's going to put that money in your hand, it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
True.
So if you're carrying around a house full of stuff, 4,000 square feet full of items because you believe that they're going to one day make you wealthy, it's not going to happen. It just
pipe dream.
That's right.
But-
That's right.
So Clutter Rescue 911, that's Christena Cardon. And I want to remind you, reach out to our hotline. Anything that you heard today, Replenish IV Solutions, if you want to get involved with Ready for Life or check out some of this awesome bourbon, Heaven Hills brands, reach out to our hotline at 813-670-7372. 670-REQB, 7372. That's our hotline. So I want to go ahead and jump into our hotline, our consumer advocate tips now. Lightning round. So we've got our top tips, things to do, things to avoid. We're going to start right here with Leigh Erickson. Top tips, things to do, things to avoid. Parting words of advice.
Things to do. Get drunk.
We drink responsibly.
Get drunk and then organize. It makes it funner.
Please Uber. I would say with bourbon, enjoy it like you like. Everybody thinks there's a certain way to drink it. So drink it in a cocktail, drink it straight, drink it neat, but try it.
However you want it, right?
However you want it.
Heaven Hill Brands, thanks for coming in. Also, Steve Gunnin.
I'm still a little lost sitting next to this much bourbon. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
We're gonna trade services later.
There you go.
Absolutely, we
Nice.
love doing that. Hey, one thing we wanted to bring up is you mentioned Healthy Gourmet there, and we and a few other people are involved in a 60-day weight loss challenge coming up. The guys down, our good friends down at Viking Fitness, are putting it together in the District Magazine, and I know she's been involved with them.
Nice.
And we're doing that, and it's basically. It's a healthy way to do it. You're not trying to do these fad diets. I mean, yes, we have things that we can do on our part, but take care of yourself because you got one life. One body. You better take care of it. Enjoy your time, and also take care of yourself as well.
That's right. All right, top tips, things to do, things to avoid. Christina?
The only thing you need to do is just call me.
There you go.
I don't see any other reason to do anything. I can help you declutter everything you have. I can help you set up a beautiful, seamless home so that it feels good for you and brings positive energy. And for realtors, I help your clients because I also offer packing and unpacking assistance as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Sold.
That's a big one right there. Boom, done.
There it is,
Sold.
done.
Awesome.
Write
Well,
the check.
I want to thank all of our expert contributors today, Leigh Erickson, Christena Cardon, and Steve Gunnin here in studio.
Thank
and
you.
I want to remind you as well, we have this free event coming up. All you have to do is submit the form at consumerqb.com. Just click on the contact form, submit the form, and get your free ticket. It's Seminar for Business. Accelerate Your Success, 3 to 5:30 right here, Friday the 21st at iHeartRadio. We're going to have a happy hour to follow at Hula Bay. Come over and check out the happy hour at Hula Bay as well. Great networking opportunities and a lot of great people around the show. Some really good business connections for you. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up food, handing it to that person that you see on the side of the road that may be in need, and be a force for good in the community. You can also volunteer. Ready for Life is looking for volunteers, looking for donations as well. And thanks for tuning in to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word valued to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.